Here's a clever little puzzle. Granny gives her entire collection of antique spoons away in 3 stages. First, her daughter gets 1/3 of all the spoons, plus 8 more. Then, her son gets 1/3 of what is now left, plus 8 more. And finally, her neighbor gets 1/3 of what is now left, plus 8 more, at which point the collection is empty. What is the sum of the digits of the number Granny started with? Before I show you anything, pause the video and have a go yourself. Here's a hint. If you try to do this forward, you get nested fractions, and it gets ugly fast. Is there a smarter direction to think about this from? Pause now. I'll wait. Let's start small. Suppose at some point Granny has some number of spoons, call it x. She gives away 1/3 of x plus 8. How many spoons does she have left in terms of x? She had x. She gave away 1/3 of x plus 8. So she's left with x minus 1/3 of x minus 8, which simplifies to 2/3 of x minus 8. That's the rule for one stage. Now, if you try to apply it 3 times forward, you'd get 2/3 of 2/3 of 2/3 of x minus a tower of 8s. Ugh, let's try the other direction instead. Here's the key question. After one stage, she has y, where y equals 2/3 of x minus 8. Can you solve that equation for x? If she ends up with y, how many did she have before the gift? Solving for x gives us this beautiful inverse rule. X equals 3/2 of y plus 8. So if Granny is left with y, she had 3/2 of y plus 8 before she gave that gift. That's our trick, the inverse rule. Now the beautiful part. We know how she ends with 0 spoons. So plug y equals 0 into the inverse rule. How many spoons did she have before she gave to the neighbor? Three halves of 0 plus 8 is 3/2 of 8, which is 12. So before the neighbor's gift, she had 12 spoons. Now do it again. She had 12 after giving to her son. So before giving to her son, she had 3/2 of 12 plus 8. That's 3/2 of 20, which is 30. One more time. She had 30 after giving to her daughter. So before giving to her daughter, she had 3/2 of 30 plus 8, 3/2 of 38, which is 57. So Granny started with 57 spoons. The sum of the digits, 5 plus 7, is 12. That's our answer. And here's the lesson worth keeping. When a forward calculation gets ugly, look for the inverse operation. One step of the inverse, applied 3 times from a known endpoint, beat a tower of nested fractions. Brilliant work sticking with it. Learn more at competitivekids.org.